This segment is brought to you by JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to JigMasters.com and use promo code PNF20 and save 20% off your next jig order today.
Welcome to the Bass Kayak and Beer segment on the Paddle and Fin Network. It's your host Armando Solan, and on this segment we kick back with a special guest and talk about life, kayak fishing, and the pursuit of big bass. So get your cold brews on and enjoy the show. You are listening to the Bass Kayak and Beers on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. As always, this is your boy Armando, your host for the day. And quick shout out to Douglas Outdoors, douglasoutdoors.com. Go check him out. Huge sponsor for my podcast. Great rods, both spinning, bait casting, and also fly fishing rods, award-winning fly fishing rods. So go check him out, douglasoutdoors.com. So today we have Your Highness, the Queen, as we have baptized her on our paddle and fin, Miss Susie Roloff. How are you, Your Highness?
I am doing fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're busy. You got your new house. We're gonna talk a little bit about what's coming up with the She Cave.
That's right.
She Fishing Cave. Sorry, Adam, you got the closet.
Right. Well, he's getting his own book room and his own like custom made shelves, so he's pretty happy with that. But yeah, I get my own she shed.
Compromise. I love it.
That's right.
So Susie, how are you?
I am doing a lot better than what I was a couple of months ago. It was a little bit rough, moving and everything. It was a little bit stressful, and I had to go through all of that change and everything. But it was definitely good and worth it in the long run. And then, my current job right now is getting pretty stressful, and there are some things happening with that were definitely having a big effect on me. And then, kind of current state of affairs in the world too, aren't really the best either. But within the last 2 weeks, things have finally calmed down. We're getting all settled in the house and everything. And I'm starting a new job on Monday. So nice. Yeah, things are going a lot better. So yeah, looking forward to starting the new job. I'm still at the same hospital. I'm just transferring to a different department, so it's a step up position wise and pay wise. So that's always a double whammy. And with the move and everything, definitely going to have so many projects around the house to work on and complete throughout the winter. So hopefully I can keep busy with all that and not have to deal with seasonal affectionate disorder, also known as SAD. I usually get that pretty bad in the wintertime, but I'm like, I got so many things I could do this winter. I'm like, hopefully I can keep busy and it won't even be an afterthought for me. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And then, of course, I'm got my own garage. We have technically two. We have a detached one, and then there's one like attached at the side of the house. And so the detached one is going to be all mine.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to redoing that and setting it up the way that I want to.
Nice.
So, yeah, lots of good things going on.
That's good. It looks like we're kind of turning the table in 2020, hopefully.
Right.
We'll see what 2021 and whatever's left off of 2020 has in store for us. But definitely, interesting times, to say the least. But,
yes, definitely.
Congratulations on your new job. Congratulations on your new house.
Thank you.
I also had to make some changes at work because, being where I work, like you said, current state of affairs is really it wasn't mentally healthy for me. So
Yeah.
Thankfully, some changes came up, which allows me more time to go fishing. So
Nice.
able to convince the wife on that. So she's a keeper. Can't complain. Shout out to Miss Sola. Love you. He doesn't listen to my show. Anyways, so Susie, for those that you don't know you, I know you are more than just one of our podcast hosts. You do a lot, not just for the woman in fishing with your podcast, Outdoors Woman,
Mhm.
and you also a tournament director. So let's give a brief intro for those that don't know the Queen. Tell us a little bit about yourself, as far as what you do with kayak fishing related.
Sure. Been with the kayak fishing industry since 2014. That's when I got my first Toby kayak from Quest Water Sports, and competed in my first kayak fishing tournament as well in 2014 when I bought the kayak. Competed with Great Lakes Kayak Fishing Series, and after my first time with that, I was literally hooked. And I reached out to the main tournament director and asked, well, what does it take to run a tournament? How do these exactly work? And he basically said, well, how about you just come on board with the staff and we'll teach you how. I'm like, okay. So before I could even get a taste for kayak fishing and, experience things on my own, I just became a part of the staff and kind of learned both ends of everything right away. So I was on staff with them for 2015. And then in 2016, I was with them again. And that's when I also decided to join another club, Kayak Bass League, and I competed with them. And at the end of that season, they asked me to be on staff with them. So then I was on two different staffs at two different clubs for some time. And then last year was my last year being with Great Lakes Kayak Fishing Series. And then this year, I'm still with Kayak Bass League. But as you guys know, with the new Paddle and Fin Trail announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm so excited for it. That's going to be my baby. It's going to be my main jam. I mean, we got some awesome things planned. We're going to have to make some changes, which is fine. I expected some dates to kind of conflict with other clubs and groups and stuff like that. And we're still waiting for, the big trail announcement to come from Hobie. So hopefully keeping our fingers crossed. We don't have any overlaps with that, but hopefully they'll get their schedule out soon so we can, double make sure that we aren't interfering with anything with them. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about me and my tournament directing in a bit of a nutshell. I've been heavily involved behind the scenes kind of ever since I got started. And yeah, now I get to do kind of my own thing and run a trail series. So, I mean, yeah.
Make sure Brian doesn't screw it up like that.
Right? I'm only here to keep him in check,
Of course. We love you, Brian. You're a hero. But that's awesome. What can people expect? I know we had the live show, and for those that haven't listened to the live show that we did with the OG show with Brian last week, what changes? I know there's a few things on the Paddle and Fin Trail that kind of different from the other trails, and I love the fact that I'm excited about the last one. I'll let you fill us in on that one, but the last one, like the 10 that qualified for the championship, super excited about that. That's going to be groundbreaking in my opinion. And there's also a bunch of stuff that I know it's going to be different, and it's really tournament by anglers for anglers, and that's what I love about it. No disrespect to any trail out there, but this one really is angler oriented. So tell us a little bit about that. What can we expect from the Paddle and Fin Trail?
So our kind of big and main focus with this is again, all about the anglers. So kind of giving a brief summary of the trail itself. We start off in April, the 9th and 10th, we have the open on Dale Hollow. And then for 11, we're going to have what's called the Clash of the Clubs. So if you guys aren't familiar with what that might be, here in kind of the central U.S., we just had the Crossroads Kayak Bass Classic, and we had the top 5 anglers from 10 different teams come and compete against one another. So it was kind of more of a team aspect instead of a individual. We still paid out like the top 3 individuals. And also big bass as well, but we really focused on the team aspect of everything. And I mean, it's always a great turnout. That was our 2nd year doing that. And of course, I was TD for both last year and this year. Loved every minute of it, even with, all the crazy stuff that happens in the back end, if there's anglers that got issues or anything like that, I'm, right there to deal with them and everything. But yeah, so that's kind of the Clash of the Clubs in a little bit of a nutshell. So if you're in a club anywhere in the U.S., and you made like top 3 in Angler AOI, or if you're going to have roll downs, we're going to take the top 3 from each club. We're aiming to get 50 different clubs because payouts will be awesome if we can get that. So I think we've got about 20 clubs right now who are all for it and everything. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. And then our trail will kick off April 24th. That will be on the Tippecanoe River in Indiana, but I think that's actually one of the dates that's conflicting right now. So I think we have to revisit that one. So again, a lot of these most of these dates are set in stone, but there might be some changes coming up here in the next month or so once we get all the other club and trail dates. And then in May, we're going to be on the Coldwater Chain in Coldwater, Michigan. In June, we're going to be up in Madison, Wisconsin on the Madison Chain. July 31st, we're going to be on the Fox River in Illinois. In August, we're going to be on Lake Erie and the Maumee River in Ohio. And then at the end of the season, in September 10th, we're going to have our invitational up on the famous La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Nice.
And then the 11th and 12th is when we're going to have our championship, also in La Crosse as well. So we got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different ways people can get involved, a lot of different ways people can compete. No membership is required at all. You can just literally show up and fish. So, we definitely wanted to have, that opportunity where people didn't have to pay all these extra membership fees. Because again, a lot of anglers out there, there's a lot of road warriors out there. There's a lot of people out there who make sacrifices every day when it comes to spending money. And, having that one less thing to spend money on, is always super helpful. And biggest part about everything is, the focus on the anglers. So, we are going to highlight the top placing anglers, but we also want to highlight everybody else, because there's a lot of times you go to an event, you hear about, the top 5, top 10, you hear how things change throughout the day. And then you don't really hear anything else about all the rest of the anglers, like what are their struggles? What are their triumphs? Who's been the underdog? Who's, going to be the most improved angler? Who's going to, come to an event and maybe be the underdog and sweep everybody at the championship? We're going to be looking at, all these different people who are coming from wherever to come be a part of this. And we're also going to be focusing on, the community around a lot of these events And not necessarily just those communities, but like other um, like shops and businesses that support kayak fishing in general. Not necessarily the big box stores, but in Madison, Wisconsin, there's mom and pop tackle shops there. We want to make sure that, hey, you guys, you're coming in from, Ohio or wherever you're going to be driving in from, you're probably going to want to find some place to find some good tackle. And what better place to do it than, these local communities, and help support these businesses, especially, during this time of year. I mean, COVID has definitely affected a lot of, these small businesses and everything. And a lot of places are, struggling to recover from it or function from it. So, what better way to help support your local business, your small business, your businesses that have been around for years as well. So definitely looking forward to, working with, these different businesses and agencies, and even, the local media, like for the Fox River, we're talking to some people. I believe it's called the Friends of the Fox River. They're an organization that do lots of things just for the Fox River itself. So, the sustainability of it, the environmental aspect of it, what's happening on the river. So lots of different aspects to everything that a lot of people sometimes forget, when it comes to kayak fishing, because we love the competitiveness of it. But, at the same time, I feel like, a lot of other things just kind of get forgotten about or kind of left in the dark sometimes, and in the weeks before and after events, we'll be talking to people from some of the local places that might be part of a sponsor for us, or talking to anglers who might have had a experience at the tournament. Maybe they woke up late, or maybe they had something break on them on the water and somebody helped them out and let them share that story, So we're going to be focusing on, just the anglers and community and everything else in between. So really looking forward to seeing how this is all going to go and work out.
Oh no, it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be epic. And then it's like you said, it gets the opportunity for the anglers to be showcased, streamed on, and it's gonna be hopefully, it's gonna be our first time, so it's gonna be a matter of trial and error.
Yes.
We are gonna make mistakes. We are, when I say we, paddle and fin, we are gonna have to adjust and make some changes and improve stuff. But the main thing, it's gonna be angler oriented. It's gonna give a chance to those anglers to showcase themselves via live stream. If some anglers, and there's nothing wrong with that, just want to go fishing, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Love the competitive aspect of it. Very few tournament anglers actually work the social media aspect of it, because you really don't have time to do both stuff,
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, because you got those people who are just go, 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 and they're on the road. And then by the time they drive to their next place, they literally are falling in bed asleep and then getting up, 4 hours later to go fishing for their next tournament. So it's just like finding that time and that balance, to try to keep up with social media and to make their presence there. Yes, it can be very challenging. And it's just like, well, let us help you showcase yourself. Let us help you tell your story too.
Yeah, a couple of them come to mind, like Blanchard, Christine Fisher, Catherine Fields also does both social media and the tournaments. But it's definitely, it's definitely something that's hard. A lot of people think, oh, you're just fishing. No, especially when it's those content creators, there's a lot of editing and a lot of stuff, that you have to go through. So it is great that we're going to have that aspect of it, and help them out. And then people that want to get sponsors, some anglers do want to grow their social media. So some anglers are for both their tournament and their social media. And some of them want to live out of this. And that's great. This is a great opportunity for them too. I wanted to touch on something real quick because I don't want to forget. If there's any clubs out there that are listening to this podcast and want to join the Clash of Clubs, which is again April 11th. Mm-hmm. If you have a club, and doesn't have to be paid club, it's just as long as your club has an Angler of the Year race, you can join the. We're gonna get at least 50, hope maybe a little bit more, just to make sure, because not everybody's gonna be able to make it. So, get a little cushion out there. Maybe we'll get more like 53, 55 for the tournament if everybody shows up. But if you're out there and you want to get your club involved, if you're tournament director for your club, or if you belong to a club and you want to get your club involved, go to you can send us an email at pnftrail@gmail.com. Just send us your club name, contact name, and email, so we can keep you updated and get the name of your 3 anglers that are gonna come up and fish the trail. And also, if they're gonna go pre-fish it, they got the opportunity to compete as individuals. The dates 9 and 10. So the Clash of Clubs is gonna be the 11th. The 9th and the 10th, we're gonna have an open. If you want to be part of that, it's $100 for both days. And I think if you land in the top 10, you qualify for the kind of like our championship, right? Is it the top 10 or the 10%?
So with the open, the top, let's see here. I got to go back to my notes here. There's a lot of information sometimes. So I want to make sure that. Something like that. So yeah, top 10% top 10% from the open. If we have 150 people, that's 15 people that we're gonna be able to get qualified for that championship. And then let's see here for. Then there's like the invitational that we have towards the end of the year. We'll have like the top 15% of them go on to the championship. And then, with our trail series, we're going to have Angler of the Year points. So if you place first through 5th at any of our stops, our trail stops, you'll automatically get into the championship. And then for Angler of the Year points, if you place 1st through 50th, you'll get to go. And then if you place 6th through 15th at any of the trail events, you'll get to go to the invitational. And also, if you're 51st through 101st in AOY points, you'll also get to go to the invitational as well. So there are definitely a lot of different opportunities out there for you guys to go try your luck to get into that championship if you don't, make the top placements or make the top placements in the open. So lots of opportunities, but we also wanted to have it to where, you got to fish and participate to, earn your way out there. So, yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So once again, PNF, Paddle and Fin, PNF Trails, at gmail.com. So if you want to form part, whether for the Clash of Clubs or individuals, you can email Brian Schiller there and get you signed up. That's awesome. I plan to be at the open at least. Yes. Those 2 days, 9 and 10. Then I told Brian I'll help out on the 11th. They need to. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see what happens, what 2021 has in store for us.
Right. I know. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. But let's be optimistic and say it's going to be an epic year for all kayak fishing community.
That's right, yeah.
So speaking of kayak fishing, I know you also have your podcast, which airs every other Saturday. And I know you want to showcase a lot of times female anglers and outdoor women as well. So tell us a little bit about that podcast.
So it's Adventures with Outdoor Woman segment, and it airs every other Saturday. If you do search for it, you aren't going to find anything recent, mainly because with the move and a lot of other things going on, I took a little bit of a break. But my podcast, it will resume back to its normal schedule starting this Saturday. So I'm going to have another epic guest on there. Yeah, so I kind of am a little bit of a quote unquote like freelance podcaster in a sense. But I do like to highlight and talk to the women in the not only kayak fishing community, but fishing community in general. Just, to help them, tell their story, get their names out there, talk about their struggles, talk about their triumphs as well. And then other aspects, just talking about my story too, and my journey through everything. So if you guys have followed along with me at all this year, definitely had a lot of crazy things happen. I flipped my kayak. That was quite an adventure. Definitely learned from that. Definitely had some, some triumphs. And some other kind of trials too, towards the end of the year. I kind of took a pretty hard emotional beating to myself once the championship happened for the club with KBL. So I kind of took that one kind of hard and whatnot, but was able to finally come out of that and be like, all right, you know what? That's fishing. Sometimes you just gotta do what you do and move on and just, keep on going at it, because the moment you let that stuff get to you or, break you down, it can really affect your whole mindset and your whole attitude towards everything. And it's okay, to be in that moment and to, accept defeat, but I've definitely, learned to, try not to be as hard on myself when it comes to some of those things, so, and which is, with 2020 in general, there was just so much going on and whatnot. So there was just a lot going on, but yeah, so one thing that I'm really looking forward to that I kind of talked about a little bit is, when I don't have other ladies on the podcast, I'm going to be kind of show and telling everybody my journey as I redo my she shed. So with the, yes, I am super excited about this. So I'm going to kind of do like a show and tell type thing. So like I'm going to take videos, be like, all right, here's my shed, how it is now. Here's my plan. And, I'm going to ask for ideas and suggestions from the community. I'm going to be like, all right, if you guys had your own she shed or man cave or whatever to do whatever with for fishing, kayak fishing stuff, how would you do it? Or what would you suggest? So yeah, I'm definitely going to be there's a lot of wood paneling all along the side. I got to take all of that down and then need to redo a lot of the wiring. It's not that it's old, but I definitely want to put in a couple more outlets. Need to put in some more lighting, like really bad. There's like one light bulb in that garage and I'm just like, no, this isn't going to work. Want to put up a ceiling fan. Definitely want to get like an AC unit in there to keep it cool in the summertime. The winter time, with it being insulated, I think I'll be okay with like a decent space heater type thing. So I don't think I have to really worry about that too much. Yeah, luckily my family, so my dad and my brother, know a lot about electrical and construction and stuff like that. They can help me do a decent amount of things. But yeah, I'm gonna do like spray foam insulation because this is where I'm gonna be. And I'm going to invest in it and build it the way that I want. So yeah, the door on there is just like, you turn the handle and you push up on it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a garage door opener for that. The floor, it's got kind of like a big crack right down the middle of it from like the settling of when the concrete was poured or whatever. But like when they did the inspection, they said it was fine and normal. So I got to seal that up, because if you're walking on it just right, you can actually kind of catch your foot on a little bit. So I'm like, yeah, I might trip on that. So, but lots of work to do on it. But yeah, I definitely want to share that journey and get everybody's thoughts and opinions and suggestions for it. So I'm excited for this.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
Definitely gonna be awesome. I know, talking a little bit about getting down on yourself and all that. I know, as much fun as kayak fishing is, when you're struggling out there, it could really take a toll on you psychologically and emotionally. And to me, one of the things that I always just like, hey, it beats being at work. It just, any day in the water beats being at work. If I come in and out safely, even if I didn't catch anything, beats being at work.
Right.
So I have actually one of my favorite episodes. I think you had Sher Karbashian on your show, right?
Yes.
I have to talk to her because I was fishing at a lake. I'm not gonna say the name of the lake, but that she's put up godly numbers as far as PBs, and I keep going to that lake and I keep struggling. And I went today, and it's like, golly, I'm not used to lakes with so much grass. It is grass everywhere. It's a pretty cool lake. It's a small lake here in Texas, and it's funny because it's a small reservoir. It's pretty much a gigantic pond. That's what I call it. But it has they stocked it with walleye, largemouth bass, and smallmouth bass.
Nice.
So I ended up losing. For once, I didn't lose any lures today, which is good. It's a great day when you're on the water, but when you lose a jackhammer or a mega bass, 110,
those hurt.
Those hurt.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But today I did lose my anchor. I had to cut off my anchor.
Oh no!
I found out that lake has some submerged. They do a lot of scuba diving. They have it for firemen training. So I didn't know.
Nice.
They have like a van, like a helicopter down there, a van, and I guess my anchor got stuck on the helicopter.
Oh wow!
It's funny story because I'm bringing my anchor up with the Anchor Wizard, and it's really struggling. So I'm like, I don't want to break the Anchor Wizard, as good as it is. So I start lifting it by hand, and I start looking, and I'm like, it's coming up, but it's like so heavy. And I looked at the fish finder, and I see this structure suspended like 10 feet below me. This huge structure the size of my kayak. I'm like, what is that? What is it? And I would let go of my anchor because when I got it, it was like 50 feet deep. And when I got it like almost halfway up to like 10, 15 feet, I just couldn't with the weight. So I had to let it drop and then try to bring it back up. And I would see this huge structure just as soon as I let go of the anchor, just come back down and then come back. And then when I try to bring it up, come back up. So I ended up just cutting because I was like, I'm just gonna cut the line. I'm like 30 minutes into it. I'm like, it's not coming out. And whatever it is too heavy to me to bring out. And then I was talking to one of the guys that does the maintenance. And I was telling him about it. And he's like, oh, that's a helicopter that's there. You probably just grab one of the pieces of the helicopter and got snagged. So I was hoisting in some section of the helicopter with me, and I could see it on my graph. I'm like, what is this huge whatever it is below my kayak that's coming up every time I bring the kayak? So it was funny.
Oh, wow. I mean, who can say that? Yeah, I got my anchor snagged on a helicopter.
It was hilarious. So it was a funny story. So I had to talk to Sharon. I need to get some info on that lake because it was a huge struggle. It was a struggle. I don't want waypoints. I don't want. Well, I'm kidding. I do want waypoints, but no. But seriously, I don't want to tell me. I want to find out. Like I know where the helicopter is now. Apparently, I might have moved it a couple of feet, but but I know where to throw. I just need to find out what the heck is it they want. I'm not used to grassy lakes.
Oh, I'm sure she could definitely help you out with that. So yeah.
Speaking of your guest, who's been your favorite guest? If you don't mind me put you on the spot.
Man, of course you would ask me that. Oh, favorite guest so far. Man, that's a tough one because I like them all. I am trying to think here.
Or memorable episode. Let's not say guest because that's
right. Well, Shares was pretty memorable because she talked about her story about her kind of sort of get like kidnapped one time. I was like, what? So that was like a big shock. Of course, I've talked with Kate Field. I talk with her all the time. And if you guys haven't seen Christine's update, so she had surgery today.
Yes.
They got in there and I guess it was a little bit more extensive than what they originally thought. So I guess they had to like repair like lead wires or something like that. So she's going to have, some restrictions and a little bit longer recovery. But as far as I know, everything else went pretty decent. So yeah, definitely glad to hear that, she was able to have her surgery and, things went relatively good. And at least, they were able to get in there and see what was wrong and get it repaired and go from there. So, yeah, definitely keep her in your thoughts and send her some good vibes.
I actually just messaged her before we started recording. So.
Oh, good.
So, love you, Catherine. Hope you get better.
Yeah. Let's see here. Who else have I had on here?
Shout out to Catherine, though. By the way, Catherine, if you're listening, I did manage to catch 2. And I caught it on a technique, and Catherine's going to love this. Because when I fished with Catherine on Lake Athens, another grassy lake, she was showing me a technique she uses. She uses this gamakatsu, kind of like, what do you call it? Octopus? But it's not the, it's just that circle hook, but it's a really wide, I forgot the name. I forgot the name of that style of hook, but it's circle, and it has those wires coming out so you won't get it caught in grass, or at least minimize cutting grass. And I use her favorite soft plastic worm, the Z-Man Zinker. So I got a couple of bags of that Z-Man Zinker. So I did manage. My only 2 fish came on that Z-Man Zinker with the that Gamakatsu circle ring with the, weightless, like she taught me in Lake Athens. So thank you, Catherine. Shout out to you. You saved me from getting skunked. So
very nice. But yeah, let's see here. Katie Baca was another one that I had on there. She's awesome. Like, she's one of the most memorable ones on there that I had, because after we were done recording, we literally talked for like, gosh, I don't know. Like, we talked for probably like 5 hours total, because we had the podcast itself that we recorded for, and we ended up talking till like almost midnight. It was awesome.
I know, right?
Right? Because like sometimes, you get done, and most of the time people are like, all right, well, time to go to bed or whatever. Like, okay, but like we just kept on talking about stuff and everything. And like, yeah. Before I know, it's like, oh, holy crap, it's like midnight. So that one was definitely memorable. Erin Mathis, she's always a hoot to chat with as well. Of course, I've had other non-ladies as well. My good buddy Titus, I've had him on there. I had Rob Wendell, who kind of has been showing and teaching me, salmon fishing. Tracy Joseph, Ola, as you guys know, our old lady angler. Had her on. let's see here. Trying to think who else. I know I've had some other ladies. I had Mel. I had.
By the way, that salmon run really took the sting out of the Angler of the Year race, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
saw the
Yeah.
pictures.
The
like the queen is back.
Right? I mean, I'm still waiting for my video from Ketch. If I ever get it, let's hope I get it soon. But regardless, the best, hands down, the best experience from that was, Titus had come up to fish with us on that Sunday, and he had never salmon fished in his life. And not only did I get him in my Hobie, which he had never been in, but he landed his first salmon ever, and we all got it on video. And oh my god, it was amazing. Like, I still go back and watch that video because I'm just like, oh my god, that's just so awesome. And just his reaction is just so priceless too, because he's just like, oh my god, I'm going on a sleigh ride. It's just so awesome. It's just, yeah, that was just hands down like one of the best, like, memorable experiences I've had. And I was just so glad that he was able to get on a fish and land a fish and just have that experience. So, and of course, catching a salmon is always a good time too. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have to crash that party next year. You might see me there.
Heck
Be like,
yeah.
hey Susie, we're like, who's invited this guy?
Right.
Be stalking you on social media. When is she going? When is she going? I would love to do that. That'd be awesome.
It's awesome. You gotta. Like, I'm already planning when I'm probably going to be going up next year, because the tournament is usually held the Saturday after Labor Day, which is actually when our championship is going to be going on, which is fine because, the salmon run, it can last for like, a month. So I'll probably go up there the weekend before championship and spend probably, 3-4 days up there salmon fishing, just so I can, get my fix in. So yeah. But yeah, it'll be a good time. It always is.
It's gonna be awesome. Definitely. I might sign up for that if you don't mind.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing, like a Airbnb house and just getting a bunch of people to come up and just share a place, and that's going to be right on the water because all the rivers that are off of Lake Michigan up in that area, you could just like go up on the river and you'll catch them up there. You don't have to go out on the big lake to get them.
Nice. That's gonna be epic.
Heck
awesome.
Yeah.
What can we expect for coming up in your podcast?
Let's see here. So yep, I've got my epic guest coming up this Saturday. I won't give any spoilers away yet, but she's actually not a kayak angler. So talking to a lady of the fishing world. She's actually from Wisconsin. That's all I'll say. Yep. And so I've got her lined up, and I'm trying to get some other ladies on for future shows. And following my journey with my she shed construction and build. And yeah, that's definitely what you guys can look forward to. So I'm excited.
I bet. It's exciting stuff. It's coming out. 2021 is going to be epic.
That's right.
Epic.
That's
right.
Well,
Susie, thank you so much for blessing my segment. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Anytime.
I love talking to you. And thank you for, bringing professionalism and seriousness to this podcast. I know it's lacking. Without you, we'd be lost. We'd be
right?
Just a bunch of idiots.
Somebody's got to keep you boys in
check. So, who better than the queen? But really, Susie, thank you so much for joining the podcast. I really appreciate it, or joining my segment of the podcast. It's been awesome having you. Again, congratulations. New job, new house, a new trail that you're going to be directing. So it's going to be an epic year. And we look forward to it. We're going to look forward to your podcast as well every other Saturday. Adventures of Outdoor Women. Check it out. For those out there listening, before I let you go, Susie, I need to give you a chance to do your shameless plugs and your plugins and thank everybody that you want to thank. You want to thank Adam for letting you have your she cave. You want to thank Hobie, whatever you want to thank. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So first and foremost, definitely got to thank Quest Water Sports. They're my Hobie dealers. Dakota Lithium Batteries, Bassett Baits, Trinity Tag, Ketch Products, She Angler Customs, of course, Paddle and Fin Podcast, Kistler Rods. Let's see here. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting somebody else right now. Those are big ones. And of course, the one and only Adam Roloff as well, my husband. So yeah.
Well, great job for everybody that makes your life easier, makes this possible. Better for us. We're all better for it.
That's right.
So once again, Susie, thank you so much. For those out there listening, once again, you're listening to Bass, Kayak, and Beer segment presented by Douglas Rods. So be safe out there if you're going to be in the water. Winter is coming. That sounds cliche. It sounds like Game of Thrones. It is. Winter is coming, and keep in mind all the take the necessary precautions, especially on winter. If you're gonna be out there fishing, 120 rule. I probably tired of me saying it on my podcast, but really, it's never too much.
Always take your safety serious.
Yeah, take your safety seriously. I think this year we were up to like 22 people. Last count I heard that unfortunately passed away. Kayak fishing, kayak related activities.
Yeah.
So again, please take care. Wear your PFDs. Keep in mind the 120 rule. And again, thank you for listening. Have a great night. Tight lines.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode on Paddle and Fin. Don't forget to go check out our website at paddle&fin.com. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at Paddle and Fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest on a future episode, feel free to email us at paddle&fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Paddle and Fin on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our show supporters, Angler. The Angler button and app just makes for a better time on the water and creates a virtual logbook for every fishing outing out on the water. Shout out to Rocktown Adventures, located in northern Illinois, for all your kayaking, camping, and hiking needs. TRC Covers, protect your investment. Ketch Products, shout out to Ketch Products. Go to ketchproducts.com and put the Paddle and Fin logo directly on your catch board. Shout out to JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to JigMasters.com, use promo code PNF20 and save 20% on all your jig and tackle needs.